So, remember that iconic moment when Meghan and Harry introduced their precious newborn son, Archie, to the world? You know, the photo call at Windsor Castle that was supposed to be all heartwarming and picture perfect? Well, guess what? It turns out that what we were shown that day wasn't even a real baby. Shocking, right? Meghan Markle, the master of illusions, was reportedly holding a doll. Yes, a doll, while the world watched in awe. But don't worry, Harry was right there, looking just as natural as you'd expect, clueless and awkward as ever. Now, let's dive into this devastating reveal. Chris Allerton, the royal photographer who had exclusive access to the shoot that day, has finally come clean. And what he's saying is jaw-dropping. Apparently, Meghan wasn't holding a live, breathing baby at all, despite what the entire world was led to believe. Instead, she was cradling what can only be described as a prop. Yes, a prop. That iconic image of Meghan lovingly gazing at Archie. Nothing more than a performance. So much for the loving, doting mother she's always tried to paint herself as, huh? But let's be real here. This whole thing was meticulously planned. Meghan wasn't exactly in the mood for letting things happen naturally. According to Allerton, the atmosphere behind the scenes was as tense as you can imagine, with Meghan calling all the shots. She wouldn't let anyone, not even close aides, get near the baby. Talk about controlling the narrative. Not only did she refuse close-up shots of the infant, so no one could get a better look at the doll, but she even made sure the baby's head stayed fully covered at all times. You'd think it was because of those pesky camera flashes, right? Nope. Allerton now believes it was because nothing was real in that moment, and they were desperate to avoid any suspicion. The whole thing screamed rehearsed. Meghan handled the doll like it was an object, positioning it as though it were a prop for a photo shoot. Definitely not the way a new mother would cradle her child. Meanwhile, Harry stood by, barely acknowledging the baby at all, looking tense and out of place as usual. The man who's always managed to look uncomfortable in any royal situation just looked even more lost than ever, like he had no idea what was going on. And here's the kicker. Allerton was given strict instructions about how to shoot. Never too close. Keep the angles just right. No one was supposed to see too much, especially not the baby's face. Meghan naturally played the privacy card, but it's starting to look more like she was trying to hide something rather than protect the kid from flashes. If Archie had been a real baby, he would have naturally shifted or even blinked in response to the bright lights. Instead, the baby was unnaturally still. If that doesn't scream fake, I don't know what does. One of the most telling moments, when Meghan adjusted her grip while walking toward the cameras, the baby's head didn't even shift. A real newborn would have responded to being moved, but this baby stayed as stiff as a board. Honestly, it's almost like they weren't even trying to hide it anymore. Couldn't even give the illusion of a real baby for a few minutes. It all fits the pattern we've come to expect from Meghan and Harry: controlling, manipulative, and above all, desperate to maintain a false narrative. Everything has to be perfect, even when it's all a carefully constructed lie. The secrecy around the pregnancy, the bizarre refusal to follow royal tradition, and now this elaborate farce of a photo call. It was never about privacy or protecting Archie. It was all about keeping up appearances and controlling the narrative. The truth is, they've been pulling the wool over our eyes from the start. So, while Meghan and Harry may continue to play the victim in the public eye, this moment will go down as one of their most glaring examples of manipulation. But hey, maybe that's just how they roll. Fake it till you make it, right? The world may never get the full truth, but at least we're starting to see through the cracks in their royal facade.